Hey there, welcome to Sullivan Smart Sense. I'm Heather Sullivan. Thanks so much for being with us today. We're going to have a great discussion today that I know is going to help a lot of people watching because we all deal with it. And that is the issue of feeling burned out, that burnout from maybe it's your job or life in general, working towards something, things that are kind of wearing you out. Maybe you feel like you're not getting where you want to be. We have an expert today who's going to help you overcome burnout, how to turn things around, how to practice self-care to help you reach your goals and just feel better about everything that you're doing. So please join me in welcoming Darryl Bumpass Sr. He is a certified life coach. Thanks so much for being with us, Darryl.
Hello, Heather. Thank you. It is an honor and a privilege to be with the amazing and beautiful and awesome and Emmy Award winner, Heather
Oh,
Sullivan.
well, that's very, very sweet of you. Thank you for doing your research. I appreciate that. And you're the author of several books. We'll talk about those in just a moment. But for our viewers, can you just tell us a little bit about your background as a life coach?
Sure. So I'm from New York. I'm a certified life coach, best-selling author, and a self-investment expert. I help people get out of their own way.
I think I'm guilty of that. So you're talking to the right person. Well, I want to show everyone your most recent book is "You Need an Income, Not a Job. Stop Waiting, Start Creating." Can you tell us a little bit about this book and how it can help?
Sure. Well, with the way that the world is going today, we are in the middle of a shift. We are in the middle of a shift. And the phrase that was coined earlier this year or last year, I believe, the great resignation. So a lot of people are pivoting, trying to figure out how to make it work,
Hmm.
how to make it work, right? So I came up with the book, You Need an Income, Not a Job. Stop waiting and start creating. Stop waiting for someone else to create your destiny. I once read someone that says, if you don't build your own dream, someone will hire you to build yours, right? So I recommend to others that to start looking into maybe creating multiple streams of income, passive income, such as real estate, investing in real estate, investing into rental properties. It's really easy now to get into. They have programs such as the DSCR loans, where the DSCR loan stands for debt service coverage ratio. So they will give you a loan based on the rental income of the property. So it's not like the traditional. Maybe someone can think of creating a course that they can sell online, such as someone like yourself, so amazing and have so much information about the media. Someone can create a course on how to courses to become a media personality. Someone can maybe create a ebook. There are so many different ways that you can create passive income, multiple streams of income. For instance, something simple as purchasing a vacant lot and creating parking spaces. They have something they call now rent your yard. So people are literally renting out their yards, Heather,
Yeah,
for
yeah.
parking spaces.
Hmm.
Right. So these are things that people can start doing right now. They don't have to say, well, I need a degree to do this and do that. They can start creating something as simple as creating a live stream, 24-hour live stream on YouTube, where you may be able to just play motivational speeches. You may be able to play jazz music. You may be able to play several things, but it will be a 24-hour live stream. And come the 21st, I believe it's the 21st of each month. Come the 21st, YouTube will make that deposit into your account. Passive income.
Yeah, there's a lot of things I know people are exploring, trying to really to make ends meet these days with inflation being so high. Let's talk a little bit about burnout because we kept hearing that word a lot during the pandemic because we know people were working from home and it meant that they were working longer hours because you were kind of always just there and available. And now, people are more so back in the office and feeling burnout from that. So first, one of the things that you guys have talked about is that burnout really affects not just your job, but it can really affect all the aspects of your life. Can you kind of talk about that?
Indeed, indeed. So this is a topic that's near and dear to me, Heather. While working my day job, I was on the journey to create my own company, right? And when we talk about burnout, burnout doesn't just consist for your personal life, but your professional life, but also it includes your personal life. So while creating on this journey and while creating this business, I woke up one morning and I looked in the mirror, and the left side of my face was paralyzed.
You're kidding.
Yes, and it still is.
Wow.
That's why I have this great smile now.
It is a great smile.
Thank you. So the left side of my face was paralyzed. I thought I was dying, Heather. I thought I was having a stroke.
Mm.
So I went to several doctors and they diagnosed me with Bell palsy.
Mm-hmm.
So the Bell palsy came from my belief, is being burnt out, being stressed out.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of times it's hard for us to commit to something when we don't have a destination, when we don't have a plan. I believe it's Benjamin Franklin that said, if you fail to plan, you plan to fail.
Mm-hmm.
So the reason why I had this paralyzed face, this Bell palsy, is because I failed to plan.
Mm-hmm.
So I would like to share some tips with your viewers on how we can overcome, recover from being burnt out, how we can minimize our being burnt out, and how we can try to maybe possibly eliminate our being burnt out.
Yeah.
So first thing I would like to say is the first tip: have a plan.
Yeah.
Have a plan, have a timeline, and have a destination. Have a destination. Martin Luther King Jr. says, faith is taking the first step, even if you don't see the whole staircase. So take the first step with your plan. Trust the process in your plan. Even if you don't see the whole staircase, trust the process. A lot of times we become burnt out because we are so frustrated with the process. Be patient. Be patient with yourself. Be patient with the process.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more, because when I feel burnout, I realize it's because I'm just kind of, the hamster in the wheel, and you have to have a focus of where you're trying to go, and that can kind of help you realize what it is that you're working towards.
Well, those are two great segues. One, the hamster wheel, right? So I've learned that grinding is activity, focus is productivity. Grinding is that hamster, just staying busy, just moving, but not going anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Focus is productivity. Focus, once you're focused, you begin to see things manifest for you, right?
Yeah.
The next tip would be, if you have a big goal, break it down into smaller goals where they are much more manageable.
Yeah.
Right? Again, one of the things, I believe the hardest thing for most people to say is, three hardest things is, I'm sorry, I love you, and the most important, that's going to help with the burnout, I need help.
Mm-hmm. I'm guilty of that one. I fail to ask for help all the time.
Well, we think we're invisible. We think we're indispensable.
Yeah.
And that's just so far from the truth.
Yeah.
I looked in the mirror and saw my face paralyzed because I failed to ask for help. And help is available.
Yeah.
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 Go ahead, Heather.
Yeah, it absolutely is. And it once you realize, and sometimes just talking to someone else about your needs and realizing they also are feeling that same stress, or maybe they've dealt with the same issue, that can help diffuse a lot of that.
Indeed. Indeed. What I would suggest, another tip, is to go to your family and friends for or even associates for motivation, for input. And if you don't have that support group, create your own support group with like-minded people that will also be able to do wellness checks on one another, which is so very important in the time that we're in right now. Wellness checks is very important. And also, another tip I would add is make sure you give yourself permission. And this is what we do. We fail to do this. Give yourself permission to take a break.
Yes. Yeah. You know, and one of the good things I think the pandemic taught me was because I would feel kind of isolated, you know, working, I would go outside, just take a little short walk. And I realized that it actually resets your brain to take that break, step away from what you're doing, see and think about something else, even for a few minutes. It refreshes your brain.
Yes, you spend time around family and friends. Spend time around your pet. I always like to go on walks with my dog, my English bulldog Dutch, right?
Yeah.
He reboots me, right? If you have a cat.
Yes, I do.
I know you do. Spend the time with your cat. Spend your time with a loved one, right? You're able to rejuvenate yourself and go back and become more productive. So you just can't keep your head down 365 days a year. You have to take a break. My wife and I, we recently took our very first cruise.
Oh.
Right?
Yeah.
So
where did you cruise to?
We went to Dominican Republic and Bimini Island. So that was one of the best things I could have ever done. That's what in one of my books, I have a chapter called Do Me Day. So when I ask people to recommend people to take and give themselves permission to take a break, have a Do Me Day, right? A Do Me Day is maybe going on a cruise or maybe just relaxing and listening to some music, but you have to step away from the everyday struggle and also get off the struggle bus, everyone. Please get off the struggle bus.
Yes. I couldn't agree more.
Right.
Let's talk about, we hear this word mindfulness. And I think a lot of people, it's kind of hard to figure out first, you know, sort of what is that? What does it look like? And how do we achieve it? And how can it help?
So yeah, mindfulness technique is really good and really simple and really easy. It's something I practice every day, constantly. So here's an exercise, all our friends that are listening to us right now, right? Every morning before you start your day, in front of the mirror, I call it mirror work. Get in the mirror and start practicing positive affirmations, such as I am, I will, I can. I am, I will, I can succeed. I will succeed. I am, I will, I can. I will become the best version of myself, right? The mirror holds energy. What are you going to deposit into that mirror so that it reflects back to you? So it's positive affirmations and mirror work. And also, when that internal negative chatter begins to creep into your mind, tries to take up real estate, another great tip is to replace that with positive scripts. Positive scripts. So when that tries to creep and take real estate in my mind, I start thinking of the days that I spent time with my father on Saturday mornings when we would go to work with him. And that was the best time that we had to ourselves, right? Times you think of another memory I can place now, being in Bimini Island and enjoying and relaxing, right? Being with my wife, spending quality time together. Investing in myself. So replace the negative chatter with positive affirmations and positive scripts.
I like that. You know, and I want to invite our viewers watching, if you have any questions or comments, please just write those below and we'll see them here. And I want to just share with you, Bob just wrote in, he says that he likes your advice and that he's heard similar advice from other wise men and women. So one of our viewers enjoying that. But anyone else, yeah, anyone who's got a comment or a question, please write in so we can talk about that. You mentioned meditating as well. Talk a little bit about meditating, maybe people who haven't done it, how to do it, and how that can help.
Yeah, a lot of people find that. Well, first, I just want to say thank you, and I appreciate you, Bob. Thank you for saying that I have wisdom. So, so
Absolutely.
yeah, meditation is really easily done. Well, let me just say, let me be honest. First, you have to be honest with yourself so that you can think about what are your. This is what I always questions that I ask to my life coaching clients. What are your goals? What are your distractions? And how are you treating yourself? Right? How are you treating yourself?
Mm-hmm.
So, in order for you to reach your goals, you have to eliminate your distractions. How do we eliminate our distractions? One of the tools that you spoke of is meditation. So, just take some time, find a quiet place. You can do it in your car, which I prefer you not to, but find some time in your home or in a quiet place. Most people say, I don't have the time, Darryl. I don't have the time,
Yeah.
Heather.
Yeah.
Well, let me just say this. Warren Buffett said, the best investment you can make is investing in yourself. You mean to tell me you can't create time to invest in yourself with meditation? So find a quiet room, a quiet place. Even before you get out of bed and grab that phone that's on the nightstand, that's going to create the stress in your life. Lay there in a quiet space and just try to think of nothing. If you can't do that, then maybe create some mantras, such as I like to use, I'm so happy and grateful for everything that I have and everything I need. I'm so happy and grateful for everything that I have and everything I need. But you can replace it with your own mantras or so. But just find something that will take your mind off of the everyday life and prepare yourself to take on the world.
And one of the things you talked about, and I think you touched on this a little bit, but end overthinking, but also by embracing uncertainty. That's
Yeah.
a tough one.
Yes. But uncertainty occurs every day.
Yeah.
We're not sure. Okay, let me just say this. I had a client, my life coaching client, that she was complaining about the birds outside her window every morning. Outside her window every morning. I keep hearing these birds, Darryl. They will not let me get my rest, right?
Yeah.
So what I said to her, I said, someone did not wake up this morning to hear those birds. So uncertainty occurs every day. No one promised to us that we will wake up tomorrow. No one promised to us that every job you have is a guaranteed job. And a lot of people are witnessing that with things that are occurring in the world. So embrace uncertainty and turn that uncertainty into opportunity. So let's not focus on the negative side of uncertainty. Let's see how we can embrace it with opportunities and say to yourself, this happened. Why did it happen? And how can I create an opportunity out of it?
Mm-hmm. Some people, when they really get to the point of burnout, even start thinking, can burnout be good in terms of maybe it charges you to redirect? Maybe it's time for a career change. What are your thoughts on when to recognize that maybe you're burnout because you're in the wrong thing?
Great question, Heather. Great question. We have signs, right? We have signs in our life. Celestine prophecy says the problem in life isn't finding the right answers, it's identifying the right questions. Once you get the questions right, the answers will come. So a lot of times we are looking for answers. Instead, we should be looking at the questions that's being posed to us in our life, such as something may be occurring on your job that may be pushing you into the dream job that you really want. But instead of looking at the surface, we should be looking at what is really going on. Did this occur because I am a magnet for it? This is what the law of attraction is allowing, right? We should take cues of things that are going on in our life, such as things that are occurring are not always setbacks, but setups for what you want to do. Setups for you to get out of your own way. So yeah, take cues from the things that are occurring in your life. They're not, you may think they may be bad at the time. Someone say to you that you've been working someplace for 30 years, 20 years, 5 years, and they say, well, you've gave them so much of loyalty. You've deposited so much of your life into this career or into this relationship. And now they're saying, it's not you, it's me.
Where have we all heard that before, right?
So what I would suggest to that is take that as an opportunity.
Yeah. Yeah.
A gift that you were asking for, most likely subconsciously.
Yeah. I remind myself of that sometimes when I feel frustrated, that's change, that's growth, that's happening because you're supposed to be learning from what's happening and figuring out how to move forward. So
yes. This
has been a really great talk, Darryl. Thank you so much for sharing your wisdom with us. We really appreciate it.
Thank you, Heather. I thank you. I appreciate you. I wish you all the success that is coming to you and your viewers.
Well, thank you so much. It was wonderful having you on the show today. And thank you to all of our viewers as well. Again, just keep sending those questions or topics that you'd like us to cover here on Sullivan Smart Sense, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for being with us.